Hi guys, it's Rob here with another IT 201 at NJIT course video. And we're just going over some of the key things for ActionScript that you should know for the exam, whether that be the final exam or the midterm examination. Now, you should know the three-step process for adding to the stage: declare the variable, make the new instance, and add it to the stage. We already went over that a few pages back. Now, and this is basically the process in action. Now, you also need to know dot notation and conditionals. Now, actually, now that I look at this, there probably should be parentheses here, but you could refer 2 pages back, and that has the correct notation. Now, there's also dot notation, and then conditionals, so if statements, right? And there's others such as switch statements, but unless they went over specifically in class, you're not going to need to know them, or unless they're covered in the readings and you're told that you need to know them. That's the only exception. Now, I also want to point out that here we're doing the process all at once, whereas up there we're doing it in 3 different steps. No add child and remove child. Add child adds an instance of a symbol to the stage. Remove child removes an instance of the symbol to the stage, from the stage. Method calls, function declarations, arguments, parameters. Remember, parameters are what the function takes in its function definition, so what you define, that it takes in. And then arguments are when the value is actually passed in by the user, right, for each of those parameters. Function definitions, how we define our own functions. Method calls, how do we call our functions once we've written them. Now, movie clip properties, you have your X position, your Y position, rotation, height, width, alpha, visible. You want to know those. You want to know event listeners and event handlers. You want to know mouse events, such as click or on mouse over. Keyboard events like key up and key down. Generic events such as enter frame. Now, for those of you that already know the basics of Unity, enter frame is very, very similar, if not identical, to Unity's update function. Enter frame is called, again, once per frame, so that's how you're constantly checking things within the code. Event propagation for user-defined events. The onEnterFrame function, how do you set it up, how do you use it? Hit test object, right, so that's to test the collision between 2 objects. So in Unity, it would be analogous to sort of like an on-collision enter type of deal, or on-trigger enter. You have the health meter, block movement, updated text field, physics, friction, acceleration, bounce, gravity, axis-based collision detecting. That would probably be an extra credit topic. Object-oriented design, so developing classes that directly control your objects, right? Movie clips, because those are our objects in Flash. Private variables, properties, and methods, communication between classes, get and set methods, and public static functions and dispatching events. Now, part 2. So part 2 is Unity. Now, Unity is a game engine, and unlike Flash, you have the option of writing in more than one programming language. So with Flash, we use ActionScript. With Unity, we could either use JavaScript or C#. Now, my specialty is C#, and so I use that. I really like it. I feel it has the most support online. But regardless of your preference, we're going to go through some of the basics of Unity to get you started with the knowledge you need to know for this class. Now, one incredibly important asset is a custom Unity Google search courtesy of Professor Greg Wagner at NJIT. If you search something in this, it will only come up with Unity relevant answers and things from the Unity documentation as well. So that is incredibly, incredibly useful. It'll search the Unity docs, forums, and Unity Wiki community for answers to Unity-related questions. So instead of typing something into Google, you have this specific site or link to that site. Now, a game is a series of interesting choices. Unity is a game engine. Game view, what your active cameras actually see. The inspector is info about whatever you have selected in the hierarchy. A game object, well, all objects in Unity that are Unity objects. Components are what a game object is made up of. They define what a game object is and what it does. Tags are useful for identifying objects and identifying what classes they belong to. And layers matter for physics and cameras. And we've reached the end here. I'm going to record one more video to discuss a little bit more about the opportunities for learning within this course, specifically office hours that are coming up for the fall 2015 semester. So please don't forget to like and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.